Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. James from Junkyard Fox here. And for this video, we're going to demonstrate how to make fire using your vehicle and some jumper cables. So this is especially, it comes in handy, say you're traveling between towns, you're out on a road trip or some business trip, and your vehicle stalls. You have some sort of vehicle issue, your tire pops, and you're just miles away from the nearest town, the nearest station for help. And sometimes, you know, on a pleasant spring day, a summer night, it's not a problem. You could probably just walk it, you know, to get help. Sometimes it may not be so easy. Say there's a winter, you know, it's winter and it's this really bad weather, really windy, very cold. You know, you might just want to just get a fire going, at least just to stay warm until help comes. It is also especially useful, say you're out in the mountains with some buddies and you're off-roading and having a good time, and then something bad happens and you're just trying to get help. Maybe they're looking for you. You guys have been missing for some time, a couple days, or maybe you're just trying to find the nearest truck in the area, out in the middle of nowhere. You're just trying to find anyone that can come and help you guys out. So making a fire, you know, it's the oldest form of signaling for humans. So they're going to be catching that, especially at the dark hours, nighttime, you know, with sunset. The human eye, somebody's going to be able to spot fire a lot faster than they're going to spot your vehicle, especially my vehicle, which is brown. Just it blends in with all the drab environment of the desert. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so before you whip out your jumper cables, make sure you have everything prepared properly beforehand. So let's start with our tinder bundle. Now I'm lucky out here in the desert. Look at all this stuff. All this dead grasses, all this stuff is just, it's fluff, and it will ignite quickly. It's extremely easy to light a fire out in the desert, so I have the advantage there. Now, in case you are in an area where this isn't an option for you, or you don't want to leave your vehicle, you know, it's understandable. Not everywhere's going to have things like this. So just look in your vehicle. Say you have garbage. Say you went to eat at Burger King before the situation happened, and you have napkins in there, and you have the paper bag. You know, just look for your garbage. A lot of this stuff is very easily ignitable. You just got to just process it down. Beat it down so you get the fine fibers. But for me, luckily, in my simulation, my truck is 20 feet away, and I'm already beginning to gather material. So we're beginning with just the fine fluff, and I am mixing it with thicker sticks, more coarse material that'll take a little bit longer to burn. Then from there I'm going to get the larger pencil-sized kindling, and then from there I'm going to get larger sized logs, if you will. Now that's one thing the desert doesn't have, is very thick logs, but I'll find something out here to improvise. So once again, make sure you have all of that before you start, you know, sparking a fire, and then you get the fire going, but you only have this much of material. So then, you know, while it's burning away, you're out scrambling, trying to, you know, pick up materials. Don't do that. Have it all prepared prior. Okay, now that I got my tinder bundle ready, now we need some kindling to throw over it as soon as we get the fire going. So we want to be prepared for that. Now this is where the drawback of living in the desert begins. It's a lot easier to get a fire going, but it is more difficult to maintain it because everything burns up quickly, everything's thin. This is the average of how thick, you know, our wood gets out here. Look how brittle it is. It's almost hollow. So this will help, you know, encourage that fire, get it going, but I do need a lot of this stuff because I don't have, you know, dead standing pine and poplar, things like that. I have about this. These are yucca stalks. I have this one. This one will be pretty good. Nice and dead. Well, maybe not that dead, but so these small thin ones, I'll try to get as thick as possible. I did find a very thick piece here, a very thick stalk of yucca, so I can break these down, and they're, you know, pencil-sized kindling. So as soon as I get the tinder bundle going, I place these over it so it starts burning, and once it starts getting quite large, I can place the main stalk over this. Once again, you want to have all this ready before you begin sparking, and then you're scrambling about to get your proper fuel. You want to be prepared from the start. Okay, so we're almost done. Okay, so I have my tinder bundle ready. I did place some sticks below it so I can get it off the ground because the ground is a little damp. I don't know if this can show through camera, but we've had a lot of rain lately. So just to get it off the damp ground, we want to get it as dry as possible. And then I have my kindling here. As soon as I get this fire going, I'm going to place my kindling over it just to feed that fire, get it bigger. Okay, and then my ace in the hole, gasoline. Now, if you are traveling or you're off-roading, something like that, you should have this in your vehicle. Just for emergencies, you should just to play it safe. Now, it's empty, but like everybody, there's always a couple drops in the bottom that don't end up going through to your tank. So that you always have a couple of drops in there that don't really serve a purpose. They're just there. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'm going to use them. So just to make sure I can get this going quickly, I'm going to dip a stick in here. I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm not going to dump the whole thing in there. But just these two. See what I can get here. There's a little bit of damp there. And place it on here. Okay, just a couple of dabs in there. Okay. Let's move back and get those jumper cables. So the jumper cables are set. My tinder bundle with a small amount of gasoline is set. One last thing on ace in the hole. Some char tinder or char cloth. That way it'll at least hold a spark, so I don't have to struggle too much with it. So throw a little bit of bushcraft in this, close to the top. And now, get my stopwatch. I'm gonna try to get this fire going in less than 1 minute. Stopwatch is ready, it's at 0. All right, let's start. There we go. 23 seconds. Let's just place some of this on here. Okay, and we got this fire going. Okay, so just my vehicle, running vehicle, jumper cables, a tinder bundle, and a very small amount of gasoline, and then I just, ace in the hole, char tinder, so it'll hold that spark. And we got it going. Okay guys, so that's about the long and short of it. Once again, this is very useful. Say you're traveling and your vehicle stalls out and you're just away from, you're miles in the middle of nowhere out in the boonies. This comes in handy. Once again, you just need your vehicle. Now, if your battery died on your vehicle, it's going to be of no help. But as long as your vehicle is running, you're able to turn it on. You have jumper cables. That's half the battle right there. Other than that, just improvise a tinder bundle out here in the elements or just from your garbage. Once again, take advantage of garbage, napkins, paper bags, things along those lines. They will also help out. And then I did use 2 small cheats. The reason I used them is because I had them on me. I just took advantage of what I had on me. One was the gasoline. Once again, if you have this, you know that at the bottom there's always a couple little drops that are just there. They're useless, you know, for the most part. So I took advantage of that. I didn't need it per se. I'm sure I could get this fire going without it, but it would take me longer. So I'm just trying to hurry up. I used that. If I needed to go a little bit faster, I would have put a little bit more, but I did just need a couple drops. Another cheat that I had was my char tinder. It was actually char cloth, I'm sorry. And that's me being an outdoorsman, I always have that on me. Now, I could have easily just put my char cloth, struck my jumper cables together, and right away it caught. I actually saw it. It caught my char cloth right away. And I could have just put away the jumper cables and fostered that, you know, bushcraft style, and just, you know, harvest that into a fire, just blowing it out. And then I would have had the fire going. Just take advantage of what you have on you, with you, and you're good to go. So, hope you learned something from this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. So, if you do, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. This is James from Junkyard Fox. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.